Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, hello, my friends. It's good to see you again. It's nice to be back with you. Today, what I'd like to do is talk to you about billing and fees, something I get a lot of questions about. And it really is confusing. It's confusing to everyone. And every time we have someone come in, we have to explain to them how we base a fee, what do we charge, what does it mean? And you'll hear these terms: flat fee, contingency fee, hybrid fee. And they're quite different, but they're very important for you to understand. First, I'd like to start with the flat fee. A flat fee is one charge for a particular project. Let's say that it's a DWI case, and we'll say, we're going to charge you $3,500 for representing you in the case, and there will be some other fees added to it, which will be for possibly driver's license, occupational license, other things that we don't know about at first. And there'll be set amounts for those. They won't be based upon an hourly rate, but there'll be one fee. Normally we do that when we have a pretty good idea how much time it's going to take, because that's really what a lawyer is doing. They're selling their time and their expertise. So when you come into a lawyer and ask them, what's this going to cost me? They're going to base that fee upon what you tell them about your case at first. And they may find out that it's not exactly what you think it is. Sometimes it can take a lot more time. So that fee can, on occasion, change. Usually it doesn't. If we understand enough about your case and we have accurate facts, we can normally estimate, based on experience, what needs to be charged and what's fair. Now, these flat fees on a civil case are the same. We estimate that for some particular project, it's going to take 10 hours. It takes 10 hours. We base that on our hourly rate, and we give you a figure. Now, that includes the lawyer's time. It does not normally include the paralegal time, sometimes not secretarial time. A lot of the difficulty comes when there are constant phone calls, because phone calls ultimately can become a major factor in a flat fee, or we've estimated that we're not going to have to be talking every day, but sometimes they become quite complicated, and that can change. So when you start off with a flat fee, normally it'll stay exactly the same. If something very unusual comes up, then there may be a request to change it. We will go over that with you, and you won't change it without you knowing about it, but hopefully you'll agree to it, and you'll see why. But it's very important to realize that we're basing this all on an estimate of the time that it will take us to perform whatever task it is that we need to accomplish. Now, the next fee is a contingent fee. Contingent fees are normally done in injury cases. That's very common, almost always on an injury case. If you have an auto accident, then we'll charge, standard is normally a third. And if it goes to trial, that percentage will go up. And on occasion, there'll be one where you can immediately negotiate. It might be a little bit less, but we'll be able to tell you right away that most fees, standard contingency fees, are a third. And that's a third of the total settlement. The only thing that we exclude, we normally don't include, an amount of money that's called PIP, a personal injury protection, which you get automatically from the carrier, and we normally don't charge for that if it's not in dispute. Contingency fees are very common on corporate matters. You'll have a matter that involves a dispute between two companies, and you're trying to collect a large amount of money. So if you are the plaintiff, your fee may be based upon a percentage of what is anticipated to be the recovery. There's also another alternative, and that is what's called a hybrid fee, and that's where we think that it's rather questionable whether there's going to be recovery, but at the same time, the client wishes to go forward with it. And they say, it's important to us. It may be important for several reasons. It might be important just because for their psyche, they need to do it. It's just that they've been wronged and they want to have their day in court. Well, if that happens, then we're probably going to charge them an hourly fee and then some smaller percentage if we have a recovery. That is not quite so common, but it is possible. Which fee applies to your case depends upon exactly what type it is. On major cases involving securities fraud, there's normally going to be an hourly fee. An hourly fee depends upon how many hours it takes, and we don't know what that will be because we don't know what the complications will be. Very often the client doesn't know how complicated the case is, and this happens in particular in family law cases. It's not a bit unusual for someone to come in and say, this is really simple. There's nothing to it. We agree. And then when you get into negotiations, they hire an attorney. And that attorney says, no, we don't agree. We have issues about child support. We have issues about visitation. We have issues about safety. We have issues about home conditions, all kinds of things that pop up, and these are all possible reasons for a trial. That can really be very, very time consuming. So we can't tell you at first what the total fee is going to be on most of these cases. We do have a minimum fee that we charge if it is really simple, but I will tell you that that is quite unusual. Even though everyone thinks theirs is the easiest case that's ever come along, they've been living with these facts for a long time. They seem fairly simple to them, but they're not anything that the lawyer knows about. So the lawyer has to become educated. And once with that education comes the ability to be able to adequately represent you and do a good job so that the court understands what's going on. And if there's a jury, so the jury renders a favorable verdict. Whatever it is that you need, it may be child support, could be property, it may be that there's a business that has to be sold. These things have to be negotiated, and they can be very, very time consuming fighting these things out in the court. We don't want them in the court. Sometimes we want to try to do mediation, but we try to make it as easy as possible. I hope this has been a little bit of a help to you. If you have any questions, please give us a call. Every single case is different. No one is the same. Everyone's case is important. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you again.